Hey everyone, this is JCS StarCraft bringing you game 2 of the group stage game between DemusliM and Strelok. So action getting started here on Lost Temple. DemusliM going to be spawning at the 12 o'clock position, Strelok spawning at the 6 o'clock position. Both players playing as Terran. Strelok is the teal Terran, and teal Terran TT. DemusliM is the purple Terran. I think DemusliM's favorite color for Terran is possibly purple. No, I'm just making that up. I have no idea what his color preferences are. Anyways, the action getting started right here. DemusliM has shown in the previous games against Naniwa and against in the first game against DemusliM going for a pause. It looks like he has been I think they've been playing games all day and just wants to get a drink. He's about to die in there. He's calling it Jurassic Park. Anyways, they resume the game. No harm done there, and both players probably gonna be going for pretty interesting builds. They are at, unfortunately for Strelok, I think DemusliM might be changing his build this time as his opponent is all the way across the map at the cross positions, and DemusliM has been kind of just scouting his opponent, figuring out what his opponent is up to, usually getting a late Reaper to do the scout, and then deciding to do a big bile push. A pretty risky maneuver as it doesn't set him up very well for the mid to late game. So should be pretty interesting to see what kind of strategy he takes on Lost Temple this time, getting that barracks out and getting the refinery. And it's not like one of those cheesy marine all-in pushes, but he just basically scouts out his opponent and decides whether or not he wants to throw down a few more Raxes, or so far has not really transitioned over to anything except bio. The earlier games, the bio push against Naniwa, who was playing Protoss, was very, very effective. And the timing window was great because he got in right as the Colossus were coming out before the thermal lance was being researched, and at the time that he came in was able to do so much damage already that it was just too late for Naniwa to take any sort of revenge. Strelok now going to be coming out, and these group stage games, of course, a big deal to win as much as you possibly can. They are best of 3 series. There are 4 players in each group stage, all of them pretty much veteran StarCraft 2 players, if you can call them that at this point, but just the top of the cream of the crop right now. Very exciting matches to watch. Great micro from DemusliM there. Is he able to take out? No, that SCV escapes with just 3 hit points. One more shot and would go down. I think DemusliM's going to try to use this SCV to get revenge on it. Will they intersect? No, they run across from each other. DemusliM wants to start to figure out where he is running around the middle, wants to see that SCV die. Die. Oh no, he is going to die. Unfortunately, his SCV is going to go down while he's waiting to take out the other one. So Strelok now gaining control of this Zelnaga watchtower. Going to be really important for both players to try to hold control of those Zelnaga watchtowers right now. And Strelok going to be going with the 1-1-1 like he did last game. Going to be a little bit more comfortable this time. But DemusliM is going to be doing the same thing, getting his second gas. Knows that the rush distance is just way too long for his units to travel across effectively. And we're going to see some more standard, I guess standard you could call it, play from DemusliM at this point. We might be seeing, going to be lifting up, going to be exchanging right away. Looks like he's going to be going tanks and trying to get out the tanks as early as possible. We might be seeing a tank Viking war game. Hopefully not. Those aren't my favorite Terran games to watch, as there's a lot of standstill and not as much movement. Tanks are slow. So hopefully we'll be seeing something else. Strelok is going to be training that Hellion, pumping that out before the air comes out, and going to be coming in trying to do as much harass as possible there. Strelok does have command of both watchtowers at this point. DemusliM not very thrilled with that. Going to be moving his SCV in. We got some SCV on SCV action right now. Who's going to win? Oh, DemusliM thinks he has it, but nope, there are Marines there. So this SCV, great reaction time from DemusliM, I think, kind of seeing that ahead, and going to get fried by the Hellion. The Hellion trying to run up the ramp, and this is going to be no good for Strelok. I think Strelok trying to time his own attack, trying to push in before all those Raxes go down, but now senses that his opponent is going 1-1-1 as well, since that tank is already out. So hasn't been able to get in and scout his opponent. Might need to use a scan to see what his opponent is up to. Meanwhile, it looks like DemusliM hasn't been able to see very much either. So both players kind of blind right now, although the Hellion out does tell DemusliM that his opponent was getting the factory there. And the tank out, of course, tells Strelok that it's going to be a little bit different this game. A drop now going to happen for Strelok, just getting 2 Hellions and a whole bunch of Marines. Going to be going down, looks like the backside of his base. Will DemusliM be ready for that? Already getting his expansion down. So once he finished that 1-1-1, going to be going ahead and taking that expansion. This could be pretty good timing from Strelok to come in here. Not a lot of units out for DemusliM at this point. Only the 1 tank and the 3 Marines. So a bunch of SCVs could be falling down at this point, and DemusliM is already behind in the income tab because he is just spending that building this other one. Strelok trying to find a position to drop, decides not to drop there. I'm confused. I'm a little bit confused at what just happened there. Is there? Oh, there's a missile tower right behind, being built, but I mean, he could have dropped it and decided not to. Anyway, so that was fun from Strelok. I might have missed something, or I don't know if I missed something. This missile tower looks kind of weird in this position right here, behind that refinery, and wants to scout in first before he sets down. Maybe afraid that there were tanks already sieged, so that once he dropped everything would get fried, but that wasn't the case. So not entirely sure what just happened there. Looking at the income tab, Strelok is ahead right now, but just getting his command center going. Meanwhile, it looks like DemusliM has his command center already established. Will be pushing out with these tanks and trying to establish and hold off right here. We should be seeing maybe 1 or 2 bunkers out here as well. But these tanks are going to be able to hold off his natural pretty well. And yeah, that was exciting for a moment, and then not so exciting later on. Not really sure what happened there with that. But DemusliM now going to try to hold off. Doesn't want any tanks to drop on him here. And meanwhile, Strelok has already transitioned over to Thors. Going to be getting the Thors to stop any sort of Banshee harass, or maybe taking out the fellow Vikings. A Thor, the combinations are Tank Viking, which looks like what DemusliM is going to be pushing for. Armor Factory is going to be dropped down right now. More starports are going to be dropped down right now. Interesting. From DemusliM. And once he sets up and starts getting gas from his natural expansion, going to have a lot more minerals to really play Terran tech. Meanwhile, it looks like Strelok is kind of a mixture of units right now, throwing down more barracks. Interesting. So going to go Thor as his tanking, and just going to go Vikings in the air. So really wants to take out the air of DemusliM. I think he's figuring that DemusliM is going to go some sort of tank Viking combination, and doesn't want to play that game, wants to play something a little bit more different from his opponent. But right now, unfortunately, because of this matchup, it's going to get a little bit boring in the middle. So both players just matching up as much as possible, and now going to try to gain control on their side of the map. They're going to have access. They should. I think that Strelok right now, unless he's super afraid of something, here come the Vikings to test the ground. They're not going to be able to do much damage, because once they see those Thors, they're going to hightail it out of their wings between their legs, if they can do that. Kind of the cool transformer. Here we go. Trying to snipe away at the other Vikings, but not a good idea. DemusliM forced to retreat. Says, holy crap, there are a lot of Thors out there. I don't think he should. Trying to snipe him off, but he's losing too many units there too. And now the Strelok's going to be pushing in with his forces at this time, knowing he's taking out a ton of those Vikings, but not going to be able to do anything against this siege tank force. So just trying to establish his bases right now. With his position, Strelok does have better map control at this point, is able to push out a little bit more. DemusliM is kind of contained in his base right now, and really wants to stay up on this cliff. Now throwing down Raxes. So interesting play from DemusliM. Kind of starting with that mech build and just transitioning over to a more bio build. So maybe because he figures his opponent isn't going tanks at this point and just gone with the Thors. And both players now deciding not to go further mech. I think both players only have one factory on both sides. So it's going to spread out, and here we go. Finally taking, no, not going to take the gold. They want to push. This is the time to do it. That Hellion is riding away fast, and DemusliM was trying to scout what's going on. It's going to see a huge force coming at him, but there's still massive tanks here, and there are 5 of them on the ground. They're going to present a big problem. Now going to transition over to 3 racks, so going to be pumping out a bunch of Marauders to take out the Thors. Finally, are they scared of the rocks? No, they're not scared of the rocks. They want to attack. Vikings dropping down, firing away. Die, rocks, die. Currently, the only action